Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. The stars have aligned. The perfect storm is here. The floodgates have opened. We are witnessing $20 silver. The last time we see prices even close to this was the July 2016 high of $21, and before that was $50 silver in 2011. The sky is the limit right now. The sky is the limit. I'm going to be explaining why prices are so high and if they're going to stay here. Is this just a false flag? Are prices going to drop back down to $18, $17? I'm going to be showcasing where prices are headed, and you definitely want to tune into this one. This is going to be extremely important to take note of. So before we start, make sure to smash the like button. Let's see if this video can get 300 likes. Like this video if you're bullish on silver. Like this video if you love precious metals. Also make sure you're subscribed. I just passed 28,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for the insane amount of support on this channel. So I've talked a lot about supply and demand, right? I've talked about supply dropping for the last 10 years as Mexico and Peru, some of the biggest silver miners, have been abandoning silver mines since silver isn't as profitable as gold, lead, and zinc. Silver is found as byproduct, so it's found by accident. People just aren't really interested in silver, especially over the last couple of years as prices have been low. They'd rather dig up gold, things that can put cash in their pocket. And I talked about the consequences are going to be enormous, and it's going to be very, very interesting once this catches up to them. And now we're starting to see the consequences play out. As silver hasn't been really being produced for the last 7-8 years, the demand has slowly been rising from 5G technology, from solar panels with the green energy movement, also electric vehicles. As silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity, we're going to need more and more and more silver, but the supply is falling. That's going to play a huge role in silver's silver's prices, and it's going to play a huge role for the future. So this article is talking about how the demand is exploding. It's going to give some information, some data, some statistics, and you definitely want to stay tuned for this. So let's jump into it. So silver investment demand is exploding in recent months, skyrocketing higher in wildly unprecedented fashions. That has catapulted silver sharply higher since mid-March's COVID stock panic, accelerating even in this usually weak summer season, because usually right now this is a bear market for silver. The massive capital inflows deluging into silver shows no signs of abating. There's no signs that this is a false flag. This is very bullish for silver, yet most traders remain unaware it's happening. Most people don't even realize how big this is. While silver prices are fairly widely followed, the data revealing the underlying fundamentals driving this metal is sparse. The best silver global supply and demand data is only published once a year by the Venerable Silver Institute in its outstanding World Silver Surveys. And the Silver Institute actually came out a couple weeks ago and predicted $21 silver in 2021. That's huge news, because the Silver Institute does not do price forecast. They don't do predictions. This is the first time they have, and they predicted $21 silver. So they're bullish on silver. They must know something. The latest covering the 2019 was released in April, and it's essential reading for all traders interested in silver. One key trend is very relevant today. Last year, global silver demand edged up an ever so slight 0.4% to 991.8 million ounces worldwide. Every demand category fell except for two: net physical investment and net investment in exchange traded funds, or ETFs. The former rose a respectable 12.3% to 186 million ounces. It makes sense investors' interest in silver should show growth, with its price climbing 15% in 2019. That translated into a far faster growth in silver ETFs. Global demand for physical silver bullion held in trust for the shareholders of these trading vehicles shot up from negative 22.3 million ounces in 2018 to a positive 81.7 million ounces in 2019. I hope you understand what I just read. Negative 22 million ounces to a positive 81 million ounces. That was an all-time record high. Stock investors are increasingly getting silver exposure through ETFs, which are quick, easy, and cheap ways to both trade and own. The Silver Institute tracks the world's silver ETFs, and one behemoth utterly dominates that space, which I'm sure you know, which is the SLV. So I want to ask before we keep going on, do you invest into the physical bullion or do you invest into ETFs? A lot of people probably diversify. I only buy physical bullion. I go by the saying, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. It's a way to be in complete control of your finances. I don't want a third party. I don't want my silver stored somewhere in some vault halfway around the world. I want to own my silver, especially if there's an emergency. Whatever the case is, I like buying the physical bullion. There's nothing like holding a silver ounce in your hand. By the way, it cannot translate into numbers on the screen. So as 2020 dawned, the American SLV iShares Silver Trust held 362.6 million ounces of silver on behalf of its shareholders. That commanded an enormous 49.8% of all the silver owned by the world's silver ETFs. Launched way back in April 2006, SLV pioneered silver ETFs and had maintained an insurmountable lead since. SLV is in a league of its own, with the next biggest competitor trading in Switzerland just running at 11.4%. So let's get into this. Let's get into this chart. So before we delve into silver's exploding investment demand and realize how unusually strong silver's price action has been. This chart, updated from my summer doldrums essay a couple weeks ago, compares silver's current performance to how it has fared in the past market summers in modern gold bull years. Gold dominates silver psychologically, making gold fortune silver's primary driver most of the time. See, gold is silver's big brother, so silver usually copies what gold does. But let me tell you this. Silver's a much smaller market than gold, about the 12th the size of gold's. So it is more volatile and it gets affected to much larger degrees. If gold's going to rise 15%, silver could rise 27%, but it also goes the opposite way. If gold's going to drop 15%, silver will drop 27%. It's like gold on steroids. It's a more exaggerated form of gold. So right now, as we see gold approaching its all-time highs ever, it's already exploded. Silver has some catching up to do, like it always does within the next couple weeks, couple months. Now we're starting to see silver catch up. But like I said, it's more volatile than gold. So if we see gold approaching all-time highs, silver has a lot of room to run. Very, very bullish. These lines are individual summer silver price action indexed into its final May closes of those particular years. The red line averages together silver's performances from the summers of 2001 through 2012 and 2016 to 2019. Note that silver's seasonal tendency is to drift sideways during market summers, which tend to devoid of reoccurring investment demand spikes. The blue line is summer 2020's index silver price action. You can already see it's crazy. So during the first half of June, silver was largely drifting lower, tracking its normal summer trend. But in the second half of June, and especially July, silver has surged dramatically, decoupling from its usual weak seasonal time this year. What's fueling silver's outsized counter-seasonal gains over the past month or so? And is it sustainable? The answer to the first question is definitely exploding silver investment demand. And I've talked about this. And the demand, it comes from different angles, right? It comes from the big business, the corporations that need it. If you want the newest, latest iPhone, you better hope that they're buying silver. Big business, which is 5G technology, cell phones, laptops, dental alloys, colloidal silver for the medical world. It's everything from the solar panels with photovoltaic cells, green energy. Green energy is taking over. Everything's going to go green. Silver being widely used in that. Electric vehicles. Every car in 30, 40 years is going to be an electric vehicle, an EV. Silver widely used in that. So demand for silver is only going to keep exploding. But like I said, the supply is diminishing. So this is huge news. So supply and demand for SLV shares is independent from silver's own. So if stock traders are buying SLV shares faster than silver itself is being bought, the SLV share price risks decoupling from silver's to the upside. The only way to prevent this ETF from failing is tracking mission is to shut excess SLV share demand directly into physical silver. That equalizes the demand differential between this ETF and the metal. So let's go on down here. So the world silver market being about a 12th the size of gold's, like I mentioned, any given amount of capital flowing into silver should yield about 12 times that amount price impact it would have in gold. Traders generally get far more bang for their buck in SLV than they would in the major gold ETFs dominated by the GLD and the SPDR gold shares. While I closely follow SLV's holdings every trading day, what they've just done still amazes me. So there's more potential in gold. There's more potential in silver. There's more opportunity in silver. Silver is more affordable. It's cheaper. Gold already exploded. Silver hasn't yet. And that's why you should buy silver, because you can get it for cheap and buy it before the explosion. Gold already exploded, so you're paying the highest prices for gold. Silver hasn't yet, so you can get silver for cheap and then buy it, and then you'll own it. Once it explodes, your profits will double, triple, quadruple. So back in spring 2011, silver soared parabolic in one of the violent, crazy, lucrative manias this metal is famous for. In just 6 months into late April, silver skyrocketed 109% to $48 per ounce. Days before the euphoric peak, SLV's holdings blasted to a then record 366 million ounces. They didn't edge above that towering record until 5 years later in October 2016 into early today's bull. So that's crazy to think about, right? That's crazy to think about. And the thing is in 79 and 80, when silver was $50, and then from 2008 to 2011, which 2008 was the credit crisis, which led to $50 silver 3 years later in 2011, it's looking like the same things are repeating. The same things are repeating. Recession/depression, government pouring mass amounts of stimulus to try to keep the economy afloat. Same thing is happening today, you know. Recession/depression, government pouring in trillions of dollars into stimulus to keep the economy afloat. Back then was billions. Now we're working in trillions. So things are more severe. Things are more extreme. If you want to talk about crazy silver prices, well, we're living in crazy times. Crazier times than ever. $50 silver back then, if silver could reach $50 back then with those conditions, with those circumstances, then in today's time, in today's circumstances, it could easily blow past $50. That's crazy to think about, but it's not impossible. I made a video a couple days ago talking about why $100 silver will happen. You want to go check that out if you want to hear my me go more in depth with that theory that I just brought to you guys. So anyways, I wanted to share this. I don't want to keep going on because there's a lot to this. If you want to check out this article, the link will be in the description, but I just want to break it down, because a lot of people are probably missing the bigger picture. A lot of people aren't realizing that silver, this is the beginning of something huge. The stars are aligning, right? A lot of people probably think this is a false flag, probably think, oh, silver's in a bubble, it's going to go back down. This is not a bubble, and if it is a bubble, the bubble's going to burst, and the bubble has bursted, right? There's been a strong $20 resistance level for a while, and now that it broke past that, everyone's going to be investing to it. Your friends, family, neighbors, cousins, whatever. YouTube videos, news articles, everyone's going to be talking about it, which is going to bring in a new amount of massive inflows, of massive capital into the market of silver, which is going to make the price go even higher. So not only supply and demand, not only silver's industrial uses, not only the monetary, the stimulus side of it, but individual investors and big companies. That's going to push as well. See, they need it, we want it. The producers are going to turn into consumers. The consumers turn into the producers. The people like you and I that are buying the precious metals are going to be selling it to the people that need it. See, it's going to come full circle, and the amount of potential is absolutely insane. So if you want to stay up to date, if you want to stay informed on the newest, latest, freshest information, this is your channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you smash the like button. You definitely want to tune in to more videos. You want to check out the video I posted earlier today. It gives a different angle on $20 silver, you know, what's happening with that. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, the link to this article will be in the description. Make sure you subscribe. We just passed 28,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.